Hi guys, welcome to my first health and wellness vlog. I am recording this while my daughter's awake, which is like a chance we take. It's a big chance, okay? Toddler parents around the world are laughing hysterically at me as I say this next bit that I hope she leaves me alone for the time being so I can record this video. But you'll get to see my daughter's face because chances are she'll interrupt me 500,000 times in the next 15 or so minutes, okay? She's cool. We'll let her interrupt us. She's currently happy watching Angry Birds and eating some pasta. Okay, so today's podcast is titled, Why You Have Extra Unwanted Body Fat. Let's go into that. I'm going to preface this by saying it's not your genetics. It's not your hormones. It's not that you eat after 7 p.m. or you don't eat breakfast. It's not that you don't drink bulletproof coffee or smart coffee or take the world's best supplements. It's not that you're not eating paleo or gluten-free or the multitude of other reasons that people are telling you that you are fat, okay? The reason you have, and I don't like saying you are fat, the world is telling you that. I like say the thing is, people have extra or unwanted body fat, and you might have extra and not unwanted. You might want it. You might have no problem with having extra body fat, and that's fine with me. I do think that when it comes to a health standpoint, you have to look at how healthy you are. So if you're not moving your body regularly and you're eating really poor quality foods and you are obese, then this is a problem. And it's detrimental to your health, and it has nothing to do with the size of pants you wear. And so you should be thinking about that. However, if you have extra unwanted body fat, the reason is you are eating too much, period. Now, the world is telling you all the different reasons why you're carrying around this extra weight, okay? And it's telling you all the ways to fix it. You get on Pinterest, and it is amazing. There are so many ways that are like, oh, if you're this body shape, then you need to do these exercises to lose fat. And it's such bullshit, okay? I'm here to tell you the truth, and I'm going to say tough love, and I'm going to give you the truth, and you can take it how you want to, but this is science, and we'll dive into that. So the reason you have gained weight that's unwanted, the reason your pants don't fit, all that, the reason that you still have baby fat and your baby's 5 years old is because you are eating too much. Weight loss comes down to one thing, calorie deficit. Being in a caloric deficit for a long period of time will help you lose weight. Now, there is a reason that keto and smart coffee and intermittent fasting and 10-day cleanses and paleo and Whole30 and all these fad diets that people are pushing on you, fad diets and expensive supplements that they're pushing on you, there's a reason that they work. And yes, I said they work. It's because they all do one thing. They create a caloric deficit. All of them encourage you to look at what you are putting down your throat, how often, and for long periods of time. Okay? So somebody goes from eating McDonald's 3 times a day, or they're drinking a Starbucks Frappuccino every morning to the tune of, FYI, like 800 calories. They're worse than a milkshake from McDonald's. Or, I don't know, they're just eating crap, and they suddenly jump on the keto train, or the intermittent fasting train, or the smart coffee train, or the 10-day cleanse train, or whatever. And they're people that are selling them these things, selling them this diet or selling these supplements, are pointing out to them to look at what they're eating. And they suddenly are like, if I'm going to spend $50 on this supplement, I should probably eat better. If I'm going to jump onto the keto train, I'm suddenly focusing on what I'm putting into my mouth. And therefore, I realize, oh wow, I'm eating fast food 6 times a week. I'm drinking Starbucks Frappuccinos 4 days a week. I'm buying only processed food from the store, no produce. And they up their produce. Okay, and they start eating more volume and less calories. They start eating more produce, they start eating more vegetables and fruit, and they start cooking at home and packing their lunches to fit their new diet. Okay, they replace their smart coffee, they replace their Starbucks Frappuccino with this smart coffee that maybe costs them the same or more. But the point is, they went from 800 calories to, I don't even know what the smart coffee has calorie wise, but not 800. And they create a caloric deficit. And then a month later, when they've lost 10 pounds, this diet works. And they sell more smart coffee, or they sell more 10-day cleanses, or they convince their neighbor's ex-girlfriend's daughter to go keto. And the matter of fact is, when it all comes down to it, the baseline of everything, of all of these, is calorie deficit. So what I'm telling you is that you can lose weight without jumping aboard a fad diet, without buying supplements, without all this. And you guys, if you know me from years and years ago, you know that I used to work for a supplement company. I use supplements, still, different company, but I used to work for a supplement company, and I pushed a 10-day cleanse and like a 24-day challenge, and I kind of stepped away from it. After a couple of years, I started doing more and more research, and I realized, whoa, I'm encouraging people to spend this money when I can help them do this, lose weight and get control of their health and all that without buying the supplements. And I truly 100% still believe you do not need to be putting anything down your throat that is not real food unless your diet is in tune. Meaning you have for several months eaten an 80 to 90% whole foods diet. You are actively still trying to lose weight or build muscle or be competitive as an athlete or anything like that. That's when you add in supplements. So I know from experience, I used to do this. I used to work for a network marketing company, and I sold supplements. And so I know how to do. I know that you can lose weight without them. I know that they really are not doing much for you except making you jump in. And I get it. It's like the encouragement. And you suddenly have these people on your team that are pushing you, and they're sharing these recipes with you and all this. And you can do that without buying the supplements and buying into the diet and all this. And you can do it, you can lose weight while still having your weekly donut with your kiddo. And you can lose weight while still going out and meeting your dad for coffee, okay? And when your company gives you free lunch, you can lose weight and participate in that. So we're gonna talk about why that is. And the reason is because weight loss and weight gain and all of it comes down to calories in versus calories out. And I know there are people watching this and they're like shaking their head and they're like, oh no, because I stopped eating high glycemic fruit, or I stopped eating bread, or I stopped eating this, or I started drinking my smart coffee, and that was the only time I lost weight. And it's absolute bullshit. There is a very, 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 very small percentage of people, and when I say small, I mean minuscule percentage of people who need medication or a specific diet that helps balance their hormones or their blood sugar or whatever. There's a very small percentage of people who that applies to. And if you're watching this video because you want to lose weight, you are not at the point of figuring out if you're in that small percentage. Okay, if you're at a point where you've been struggling with unwanted weight, or you've gained weight in the last couple of years due to life changes or being less active or whatever, then that doesn't apply to you. What you need to focus on right now is the crap you're putting in your mouth, how much you're moving your body, and do it regularly for months at a time. And in 6 months, if you have watched what you ate for 6 months and you've exercised 4 to 5 to 6 days a week regularly, and you still have not lost weight, and you've tracked your food and you have done all this, then go see a doctor and talk about your hormones. But there are people flocking to doctors to talk about their body weight, and the doctors are prescribing them prescriptions. They're putting them on crazy flippin' diets. I know this lady, my heart broke for her because she hadn't really tried much. She'd struggled with her weight her whole life. She went to a doctor and she was so fed up, and the doctor put her on this stupid 600 calorie a day diet. And yes, the woman was very overweight. She probably had 150 pounds to lose. But the point is, if we were honest with people about food and calories, and we had some tough love with them, she could have gone home, she could have cleaned out her fridge, chosen some recipes online, and tackled it and lost the weight slowly and naturally and right. And instead she went on the 600 calorie a day diet. She lost 75 pounds in 4 months. She was miserable. And the problem was, the minute that the doctor said, oh, you're now too light to be on this program and you have to start eating regularly, she couldn't. She hadn't learned the habits. She went right back to eating what got her overweight in the first place, and she gained the weight back. And so this is a problem, I think, not specifically, but really in America. America we're full of it. And we want fast, and we want easy. And we don't like when people say, stop putting so much crap in your mouth. And I realized, I follow a couple of people online, and men who can say this stuff. And I was telling my sister, I was like, if a female said this, she would just get hung on the cross. But somebody needs to say it. You're eating too much, and that is why you have extra body fat. And when you come to terms with that and decide to tackle it, it'll change your life. And when you do it without jumping on board a diet train, a fad diet train, and when you do it and you don't expect to lose 5 pounds a week until you hit your goal weight, when you realize it's going to be slow, when you realize it's going to take work from you and not a pill that makes you think it's doing something, you're going to be miles ahead of everyone else. So, how do I use this information to lose weight? Start tracking what you're putting in your mouth. It will be mind-boggling to you when you start writing down, or I use MyFitnessPal. Let me log into it. Let me show you. MyFitnessPal is so easy to use when you get used to it. I've been tracking my food on and off for 8 years now. And I go through periods where I don't log, and I've decided not to log, and blah, blah, blah. And I go through periods where I'm logging every single thing I put in my mouth. And it all depends on your goal, but MyFitnessPal is great. You go in and you can log all your food. You can't see it. Okay. Anyways, you log your food. You can scan stuff, all that. Start tracking what you're eating, because so many people have no idea how much they're eating. They think, and even I do this, okay? Even I sometimes, if I'm not familiar with a certain food, I don't eat it regularly, I'll look at it and be like, that looks like 100 grams. And then I weigh it and I'm like, or 300, that's great, yeah, okay. Track your food. And if you're one of those people that are telling me, oh, I can't track my food, it just makes me anal, I get obsessed with it, blah, blah, blah. I just want to learn how to, I'm gonna work on eating intuitively. This is what I have to say to that. I think intuitive eating, if you don't know, is basically how we should all eat. It's how it's how humans were made. And then we entered a world where there's fast food, and we're encouraged to be greedy and to drink too much and to eat until our pants are bursting off. And we came to this world, and intuitive eating gets harder, and we started processing food, and we're eating processed food so much, and it gets harder to be intuitive. And intuitive eating is saying, I'm hungry now, I'm going to eat. My body is craving fats and proteins and carbs, or my body is craving, hydration, or my body is craving iron. And then we also have this intuitive, I'm 80% full, I'm going to stop eating now, right? Intuitive eating is great, and I think as a human being we should all strive to eat intuitively. However, if you have extra body fat, then you are shit at intuitive eating. Obviously something's going wrong there. You are not good at eating intuitively, because if you had intuitive eating down, you would not have extra body fat. You would eat until you were 80% full. You would not eat when you were hungry. You would eat only when you're hungry. You would eat what your body was craving, and your body would regulate. You would move when it needed movement, and you would rest when it needed rest, and your body would have a balanced, healthy weight. And if you're struggling with having extra body fat where you are landing in the very overweight, obese section, you are not good at intuitive eating. And it's something you need to learn later. But right now, you need to learn about how much you're putting in your mouth. You need to learn what it feels like to eat to 80%. You need to learn what it feels like to eat only when you're hungry and stop eating when you're full. And so start by doing this. Start tracking what you're eating, okay? I say this, usually it's like baseline. So when I start my clients out and I say, just want you to start eating, I'm not giving you a calorie goal. I'm not giving you any goal. I want you to track what you're eating. And I'm going to give you a calorie goal. I don't want you to go over 1,900 calories a day for females, okay? Men, don't go over 2,400 calories a day, okay? Track everything you put in your mouth, every single thing. Weigh it, measure it, track it. Do that for a week. And if in a week you lose weight, great. If you lose more than a couple pounds, you need to eat more. So then if you're eating 1,900 calories for a week straight and you lose 4 or 5 pounds, next week, eat 2,000 calories, okay? And say that the next week you eat 2,000 calories every single day for a week and you lose a pound. Great, stay with 2,000 calories, okay? You're still in a caloric deficit. It's not too high. You're able to eat and nourish your body and hydrate your body and still be in a caloric deficit, okay? Now, if you eat 1,900 calories a day for a week and your weight is stagnant, okay, it stays the same, or you may even gain weight, then the next week, drop 100 calories, stick with that. This is the problem. People start weighing and measuring their food. They freak out. They freak out because the world has told them 1,200 calories is how you lose weight, and it's bullshit. Somebody came up with that number somewhere, and it is absolute bullshit. I have never had a female client eat less than 1,600 calories a day, and they were losing weight. So, start with 1,900 and 1,800. Trial and error, which means you do have to eat that way for a week. You have to hit those calories for a week. Why wouldn't you want to eat as much as you can while still losing weight? And if you gain a little bit of weight in the first week, you lower those calories, you go for another week. Don't do it for 2 days and quit. Don't do it for 2 days and drop your calories by 500 calories because you weren't losing weight. Weight loss, body fat loss, weight gain, muscle gain, all this, it comes down to time and consistency. You have to hit those calories every day for weeks and months on end to hit your goals. And that's life. So, another way to create a calorie deficit other than lowering your calories. So say that you're 3 weeks into this and you've lowered your calories once. You're losing about a pound or a pound and a half a week, and you're feeling when you eat like you're on the edge of being like, it's almost not enough. I'm eating and I'm getting to the end of the day and I'm hungry. I'm waking up really hungry. I don't want to lower my calories again, but I've stalled out. My weight after a couple weeks at 1,600 calories is no longer moving. How do I increase my calorie deficit, lose more weight without lowering my calories? You need to up your daily energy expenditure. So everybody's is different. It totally depends on what you do for a living, your metabolism, your dieting history, the weight you are currently, your activity. So what you can do is up that by adding in some regular exercise. And if you're already exercising, like say you're like, oh, I do Zumba 3 times a week and I do spin 1 time a week or whatever, or I do CrossFit 3 times a week and then I take an aerobics class another day a week or something like this. I'm not saying you keep having it at the gym. You don't have to live in the gym, anything like that. You can increase your energy expenditure pretty easily. Walk everywhere you go. If you have a lunch break and you're sitting on your phone scrolling through Instagram on your lunch break, go for a walk on your lunch break. Listen to a podcast instead. Go for a bike ride. Maybe it's standing at your desk. I'm standing right now. So maybe it's standing at your desk for 2 of your 8 hours a day instead of sitting at your desk. That will increase your energy expenditure. All those little things, taking the stairs, getting up in the morning and going for a mile-long walk. It takes 15 minutes of your morning. It'll wake you up, and that will increase your energy expenditure. So stuff like that will increase your caloric deficit and help you lose weight. And we're going to dive more into that. I will dive into macros and stuff because I think people need to understand what macros are. People hear macros, people talk about macronutrients, and they think it's a fad diet. They think when I talk about running somebody's macros and getting them on a set of macros or whatever, they think I'm talking about some fad diet, and it's not. Macronutrients are what makes up your calories, and it just helps people track their food better and understand food better. I think when I really learned and educated myself about macronutrients, so when I really started to understand food and I started to understand myself better. So I think that's important to dive into, and we'll dive into that later. But with all that being said, the tough love, the science is, if you're carrying around extra body fat, you're eating too much. I saw this post the other day that said, if your dog went to the vet and the veterinarian, that is a word, veterinarian said that they were overweight, what would you do? Well, the veterinarian and you yourself know that you would increase their daily activity, make sure they're eating high quality food, make sure they're not eating too much high quality food, reduce their treats, right? Those are things you would do for a dog. Treat yourself like a dog. We don't put dogs on keto. We don't put them on Whole30. We don't start giving them smart coffee supplements or 10-day cleanses or juice cleanses or what have you. There's so many fad diets out there. It like my brain hurts when a new one pops up because I'm just like, I know how many people are going to waste their time and their money on this diet when all they have to do, increase their movement, eat high quality food, reduce their consumption, reduce their treats. Treat yourself like a dog. Move your body more. Shop on the outside of the grocery store. Okay, so all the outside lanes, that's where your produce is, that's where your dairy is, your meat, anything that can go bad, anything that is from the earth. I tell people and meat, people are like, meat doesn't grow from the ground. And okay, vegans, go somewhere else then. That's not what I mean. I'm not bashing on vegans. I totally think that it is good to consume animal products. Don't send me hate mail. Okay, amino acids and protein are essential. Shop on the outside of the grocery store. The stuff on the inside lanes is processed, and that's okay. But the majority of your cart, the majority of the food you're putting down your throat should be whole foods from the outside of the grocery store. So, move your body more. Stand instead of sit. Take the stairs. Walk your dog. Walk your kid. Pick up an extra Zumba class. Like, try something new, okay? Walk on your lunch break. All of these things. Eat high quality foods. Okay? Shop on the outside of the grocery store. This is not hard. You're an adult. If you tell me something like, if I have clients that are like, but I don't like vegetables, I'm like, okay, are you too? No, you're an adult. Grow up. Find another way to cook them. Try them 3, 4, or 5 times before you truly decide you don't like them because you're being immature. It's good for you. Of course, it doesn't taste like French fries. We know. Cook it a different way. Eat high quality food. Reduce your consumption. Pay attention to serving sizes. Track your calories. Okay, be aware of how much you're putting in your mouth. The second donut tastes just like the first. There's nothing in the second donut that's not in the first. Eat your donut. Enjoy it. Eat it slowly. Focus on the flavors. Focus how it feels. Focus on your emotions while eating it. Don't eat another one. Don't be an asshole. So that was reduce your consumption, reduce your treats. So that goes along with high quality food. Okay? You don't need a Starbucks Frappuccino 5 days a week. You don't even need one day a week. Once a month, go get your Frappuccino, drink it slowly. But I can guarantee if you're somebody who's eating fast food every day, you're drinking Starbucks Frappuccinos every day, or whatever, you're eating a certain processed food every day, you've forgotten to enjoy it. And you're not enjoying it. You're eating it because it's convenient. You're eating because it's habit. I can tell you, I got into the habit. I was drinking Starbucks all the time, and it was just like, then it was just coffee. It was just the thing. And I enjoy it so much more now. I go like once a month to my coffee shop and I get my coffee, and it tastes so good to me because I'm actually enjoying it, and it is a treat then. Okay? So, these are all ways to help you lose weight. I'm going to dive in more. Shoot me questions. Any questions you have about fad diets or supplements or calorie deficit or losing weight, I'm going to help you because I am making it my mission to spread this. It pains me to scroll through Instagram or to watch people's ads and just know that people are falling for it and it's not a permanent fix for their weight. So I want to help you understand it more. So my next health and wellness post will probably not be for another week. I'm going to make a post soon that's more like lifestyle post about what's going on in my life. You get some humor. But I have to mill that up in my head a little bit longer before I record it. So she made it 25 minutes without bothering me. It's a miracle. All right, guys. See you next time.